Ms. Sanchez, best you can, raise your right hand, please, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Ms. Sanchez, you've heard the testimony of both of the officers. Does that basically comport with your recollection of the events that they testified to, or do you have a different recollection?
Basically, there's a few differences, but basically,
What are the differences?
after I went to the restroom and I went to the nightstand, I had a friend that had been staying there a couple of nights because he was going through a divorce. He had let me put his medication in there, and I was really hoping it wasn't still in there, but it was. So I got it, and I did call the officer and handed it to him. They did not wait till they left the bedroom. All of them congregated together at the end of my bed. There, about 4 or 5 officers to see what I had gave him.
Okay. Was it a prescription from Mark Bridges?
Yes, sir.
And we have not given it provided to the state. This is a printout of his prescriptions. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And what's your relationship to Mr. Bridges?
He's a very good friend of mine. I've known him since I was 18 years old.
Well, you sleeping together? I mean,
Yeah. Yes.
Gender offense one, Your Honor.
Yeah, I would object to this. This witness is not the proper witness to sponsor that. If you look at that document, there's no indicia of authentication with regard to this. In other words, it's not a self-authenticating document. It's not certified. This is a document that could have just been created on anybody's printer with their laptop.
Of course, Your Honor, we're not dealing with a jury trial. They're going to court to give it whatever weight that the court wants to. I'll simply represent to the court.
I don't think she has the ability to lay the foundation for it. How can she lay the foundation for that?
Well, again, Your Honor, it's an NTRP hearing, and I would just have it has the weight that it has. She's representing that the prescription was Mark Bridges. We don't have them.
I don't think the reverse would be true if the state was trying to do that. And the argument was it's just an MTRP hearing. The rules still apply.
Well, if we would have the actual bottle, I think it would reflect that whose prescription it was. She doesn't have that.
I mean, she's testified to who it is. The officers have testified that it was not hers, that it didn't have her name on it. She's testified to that name, but I'm going to sustain the objection to that document.
You voluntarily provided it to the state. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
At the time you provided it to the state, you were being supervised at the probation department? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Well, part of that supervision, had you been being drug tested?
Yes, regularly.
And when was the last time you've been drug tested?
It's been a while, but it was negative.
I didn't give you a time frame. The last time before you provided prescription to law enforcement, when did you been drug tested?
Oh, I really don't know. You have to ask my officer that in my bomb.
Are you a methadone patient?
Yes, sir, I am.
And how long have you been a methadone patient?
6.5 years.
So at the time, am I correct in understanding at the time you provided this prescription medication to the officer that dilaudid, you were taking methadone? Is that right?
Yes, sir, I still am.
What would be the problem if you ingested dilaudid while you were taking methadone?
I would not feel it at all. I mean, it would be pointless. Probably made me sick. I mean,
were you under the influence of any type of narcotic when you were talking to the officer?
No, sir.
Why did you cooperate with them and retrieve the pill bottle and give it to them?
Because they were asking me if there was any kind of narcotics on the premises. And so I went over there to see if he had gotten it. He hadn't. So I presented it to them along with my, what had happened. They took it and led me to believe that was it.
Okay, so if I'm correct in understanding then that you retrieved the dilaudid, the hydromorphone, because an officer directed you to give them any narcotics that were in the residence?
Yes, sir.
You didn't just walk over to the nightstand and
Yeah. No, sir.
Just to be clear, you weren't in custody when they directed you to provide narcotics. Is that right?
No, sir. I was never been in custody.
You were just cooperating?
Yes, sir.
As far as your probation goes, you've heard about the community service issue. I know you've done 200 hours.
Actually, I didn't even really do that. I was able to purchase a card and donate it to some other place.
Okay.
They told me that was an option. They directed me. They told me that I could get a doctor's note. I have a condition, an injury. I need a hip replacement, and so I don't get around real well. And I had provided one previously, which Miss Robinson, my officer that was my probation officer prior to Mr. Kitchens, had asked me to if I could get another one, and I said I could. So, but by the time I brought it back up there, she was no longer my probation officer. It was Mr. Kitchens, but I did give it to him.
How do you maintain employment? How do you support yourself?
I work for Marlon Raleigh. I do inventory. He owns a business, and garbage receptacles, trash receptacles for contractors and things.
Private waste collection.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And what do you do there?
I answer the phones. I take inventory, and direct them, sales, whatever.
How long have you had that job?
I've worked for him for on and off 10 years.
And would you have that job available to you should the court continue on probation?
Yes, I will.
Do you want to be continued on probation?
Yes, sir. I mean, if that's an option, I mean, I didn't knowingly violate anything. I lost my daughter because of this. I did not have any idea until actually that day what my daughter and her boyfriend were doing. She overdosed 6 months later. And
She died.
yes, I found her. She overdosed at the house. And like I said, that was my home. We lived there. He was only there to see her.
Who is he?
And John Martinez, I only knew him because that was my daughter's boyfriend. He didn't live there. He just, was there 2 or 3 nights, maybe a week to visit with her.
Is it your opinion that her association with Mr. Martinez led to her overdose?
I know it was.
What's your feeling towards the use of illegal drugs, specifically Dilaudid, and then
I never thought my daughter would do that. I had trouble with drugs all my life since I was like 15 years old. And this is the longest time in a long time I've been clean. And I never thought she would use her. I was shocked up until I got the autopsy results. She died from methamphetamine, a mixture, a toxic effect. And I didn't think, I had no idea that she was on methamphetamine. I never thought she could do something like that.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Coleman from the state's going to ask you about disreputable associations, Ricky Wood being one, I guess other ones. What is your explanation for the associations that you've had while on probation?
Ricky's a very good friend of mine. He's been a friend of mine for a long, long time. True, he had one incident where he went to prison a long time ago. But I mean, other than that, he's a good person. He stood by me, through all of this. He tells me now.
I'm sorry. I don't really know what's happening. Is it possible for someone to have criminal history and not be a disreputable person?
Well, yes. I mean, myself, I don't consider myself a bad person. My drug use had me doing all kinds of stuff like these theft cases. How I supported it. I mean, I couldn't possibly afford what I was doing any other way. That's how I had these theft cases that happened. I was stealing to support my drug habit.
What does the word disreputable mean to you?
It means just of a bad character that you don't care about anybody else. It's all self-serving.
Can people not have a criminal history and be disreputable?
Yes. Yes, it has to do with your character. Like if he knew that my daughter was starting to have a problem, he should have made her stop. He should have told me. He should have anything. Instead of just let her down. I mean, Cummins tells me one night that something's wrong with her.
You're talking about Martinez?
Yes. She was on the floor. He never got her off.
Hold on, that doesn't have anything. Let's move on to something.
Oh, that's what she's not.
I have no question for Ms. Sanchez, Judge.
Well, I do. On this updated pre-sentence report, where Mr. Kitchen visited with you about your statement.
Yes, ma'am.
You made the statement that I thought all of this was going to be dropped because I do have a prescription. My lawyer has a copy of the prescription.
I meant the printout. I've only been able to contact my friend through the phone. You know, I've been locked up, but he provided that for them.
So
That's
you
what
didn't tell Mr. Kitchens anything about that person or that name?
that's what I meant was this paper here. This what I meant that he had provided this to Ricky. And I believe he told me he was going to take a copy of it to my lawyer. That's what I was talking about. That it was my
So
friend's prescription.
Your friend's name is what? Bridges?
Mark Bridges. Yes, ma'am.
And was Mr. Bridges on probation or parole or had felony offenses?
I don't know about felony offenses.
Y'all been really good friends since you were 18, so tell me the truth.
I'm sure he's been to prison. Yes.
Okay, so you know he has felony offenses.
Yes, ma'am.
So he has felony offenses. You're letting him stay there, and you're
He
putting.
stayed there only for a couple of days. It was not something that you know.
So
He
why
was
would you
moving
put
in.
his pills in your bedside
have-
table?
My oldest daughter also resided with us. That's actually where I was. I had brought her to the doctor while I was watching her. I have a 4-year-old granddaughter that resided in the house. And I was so afraid, you know, that she was going to come in and pick him up if he's left them in his pants pocket. So we put them there so she couldn't get to them.
She couldn't get into a
She
drawer,
right,
but
she
could
could not get to that drawer. No,
A 4-year-old couldn't get into a drawer.
what other than laying on the floor in a pair of pants. When I saw them fall out of the pocket, we put it in the drawer. I mean, that was the safest place at the time, safer place, I should say.